Believe it or not, a Florida woman put 500,000 miles on her 1999 Toyota Camry, and she said it still ran like new. That's the kind of cheap reliability drivers dream about. And the Camry isn't alone. Here are 20 cheap cars that just refuse to break down. Number 20. Honda Civic. Taxi drivers in Boston called it the quarter-million-mile special. The Honda Civic's reputation isn't hype, it's math. One Chicago pizza delivery driver racked up 387,000 miles on his 2006 Civic before the body finally gave up. The engine still purred. That D-Series 4-cylinder was overbuilt for a reason. Honda knew families needed something bulletproof, not beautiful. Parts are dirt cheap, mechanics know them blindfolded, and the manual transmission versions laugh at 300,000 miles. Best of all, older Civics regularly sell for $3,000 to $5,000, making them one of the cheapest reliable buys out there. For budget reliability, the Civic wrote the playbook. Honda perfected the economy formula. But what happens when you need something bigger? Number 19. Toyota Corolla. A Swedish taxi company documented one Corolla hitting 456,000 miles before retirement, and that was in 1994. The Corolla wasn't trying to be exciting. It was trying to be immortal. That 1.8-liter 4-cylinder runs on regular gas and basic maintenance schedules. Owners routinely see 250,000 miles without major repairs. Even better, you can find early 2000s Corollas for around $4,000 to $6,000, showing why it's the go-to budget commuter. The secret is Toyota's obsession with over-engineering the mundane. Every gasket, every bearing, every sensor built to outlast the car's payments. A Texas driver pushed his 2003 Corolla past 400,000 miles commuting through Houston traffic. The Corolla conquered daily driving. But could a sports car survive that same punishment? Number 18. Mazda Miata. Picture a weekend warrior surviving 300,000 miles of canyon carving and daily commuting. That's the Mazda Miata's miracle. This roadster shouldn't last. Sports cars never do. But the Miata's simplicity is its superpower. No turbo complications, no all-wheel drive headaches, just a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and rear-wheel balance. Mechanics love working on them because everything is accessible. Surprisingly, you can still grab a 1990s Miata for $5,000 to $7,000, proving sports car fun can come cheap. A California owner documented his 1992 Miata crossing 280,000 miles with only routine maintenance. We're barely getting started, but your choice might already be clear. Share it down below. Number 17. Ford Crown Victoria. Police departments across America proved one thing: the Crown Victoria is unkillable. These body-on-frame sedans absorb decades of pursuit driving, idle time, and general abuse. The 4.6-liter V8 was bulletproof, literally designed for law enforcement torture. Taxi companies bought retired police cars and squeezed another 200,000 miles from them. Those ex-police cruisers still pop up at auctions for $2,500 to $4,000. A ridiculous bargain for that much car. A Miami cab driver pushed his Crown Vic past 450,000 miles before the transmission finally surrendered. The engine still ran perfectly. Fleet managers called it the last real American sedan. Crown Vics dominated through brute strength, but what if elegance could match that endurance? Number 16. Chevrolet Impala. In the early 2000s, rental car companies discovered something shocking. The Chevrolet Impala refused to die. These fleet workhorses endured millions of rental miles with minimal complaints. The 3.5-liter V6 was smooth and reliable, while the 3.8-liter variant became legendary for longevity. A Detroit airport shuttle Impala logged 320,000 miles before replacement. Not failure, replacement. Corporate fleets loved them because maintenance costs stayed predictable. And today you can scoop up an old Impala for $3,000 to $5,000, making it one of the cheapest full-size sedans with serious staying power. One Pennsylvania driving instructor used his 2006 Impala for 280,000 miles of student abuse. Every clutch drop, every curb scrape, every parking lot mishap, it absorbed everything. Fleet cars prove durability through volume. Honda had a different philosophy entirely. Number 15. Honda Accord. A German taxi with 497,000 miles still carries passengers through Munich today. That Honda Accord proves something profound about Japanese engineering philosophy. This mid-size sedan balances room, comfort, and bulletproof reliability like no competitor can match. The VTEC 4-cylinder engines run forever on regular maintenance. Owners consistently report 300,000-mile lifespans with minimal major repairs. You'll often see dependable early 2000s Accords listed for $4,000 to $6,000, a small price for family sedan perfection. A Texas salesman documented his 2001 Accords crossing 380,000 miles through daily highway commuting. The interior wore out long before the drivetrain showed stress. Honda built the Accord to be invisible. You never think about it because it never breaks. The Accord mastered family sedan perfection. But could budget engineering push even further? Number 14. Nissan Altima. Picture a rental car surviving 200,000 miles of abuse from strangers who don't care. That's the Nissan Altima's reality. These mid-size sedans endured years of fleet service before hitting the used car market, still running strong. The 2.5-liter four-cylinder is nearly indestructible, while the CVT transmission improved significantly after 2007. Because of that fleet background, you can pick up an older Altima for $3,500 to $5,500 without trouble. A Tennessee insurance adjuster drove his 2009 Altima past 290,000 miles investigating claims across rural highways. The air conditioning failed twice, but the engine never left him stranded. Fleet managers appreciated Altima's combination of space, fuel economy, and reliability. Rental abuse usually kills cars quickly. What happens when survival meets frozen wastelands? Number 13. Toyota Matrix/Pontiac Vibe. Mechanics called them the same car with different badges, and they were right. The Toyota Matrix and Pontiac Vibe shared everything that mattered. Toyota's 1.8-liter engine, Toyota's transmission, Toyota's reliability DNA. A Portland delivery driver pushed his Matrix past 315,000 miles hauling packages through Oregon's mountains. The all-wheel drive system never failed him once. These compact wagons offered SUV versatility with sedan durability. Parts are cheap, service is simple, and the Toyota powertrain runs forever. Better yet, you can find these twin wagons for $3,000 to $5,000, making them sleeper bargains. One Minnesota outdoor enthusiast used his Vibe for 280,000 miles of camping trips, CE, and daily commuting. Badge engineering created an accidental masterpiece. But what if perfection demanded all-wheel drive from birth? Number 12. Subaru Legacy. In Alaska, where cars go to die, the Subaru Legacy just keeps going. That all-wheel drive system and boxer engine combination handles conditions that kill most vehicles. A Fairbanks postal worker documented her 2005 Legacy crossing 295,000 miles through brutal Arctic winters. The AWD system never failed, the engine never froze, and the heater always worked. Subaru built the Legacy for survival, not style. The flat-4 engine sits low, improving handling and reducing maintenance complexity. And despite that winter-proof engineering, high-mileage Legacies often cost just $4,000 to $6,000. These sedans routinely hit 250,000 miles with proper care. Oil changes are critical, but everything else is remarkably durable. Legacy survived where others froze solid. European engineering had different priorities entirely. Number 11. Ford Focus. European taxi drivers discovered the Ford Focus secret first. This compact car was over-engineered for American roads. A London cab with 340,000 miles still runs today, carrying passengers through city traffic. The Duratec four-cylinder is bulletproof, while the manual transmission adds another layer of reliability. American owners consistently report 250,000-mile lifespans with routine maintenance. The kicker? You can pick up an older Focus for $2,500 to $4,000. Proving cheap doesn't mean flimsy. A California college student drove her 2005 Focus through 4 years of campus abuse, then sold it with 180,000 miles, still running perfectly. Ford built the Focus to European durability standards, but priced it for American budgets. European engineering met American affordability. Could Korean ambition match that European persistence? Number 10. Hyundai Elantra. Korean engineering came of age with the Hyundai Elantra, and the mileage numbers prove it. A Phoenix rideshare driver logged 275,000 miles on his 2013 Elantra before trading up. The 1.8-liter four-cylinder never missed a beat through Arizona's brutal summers. Hyundai's 10-year warranty wasn't just marketing, it was confidence. These sedans routinely exceed 200,000 miles with minimal major repairs. That confidence is why older Elantras can be found for $3,000 to $5,000, making them one of the cheapest modern sedans. The manual transmission versions are particularly bulletproof. A Tennessee Highway Patrol officer used his personal 2011 Elantra for 230,000 miles of rural commuting before the air conditioning compressor finally failed. Korean reliability used to be a joke. What happens when that Korean persistence meets Manhattan streets? Number 9. Nissan Sentra. A New York taxi with 380,000 miles still prowls Manhattan streets today. That Nissan Sentra proves something about economy car engineering. Simple works. The 1.8-liter four-cylinder is nearly indestructible, while the manual transmission adds decades to the lifespan. These compact sedans absorbed years of city driving without major complaints. Parts are cheap, service is straightforward, and fuel economy stays excellent throughout the car's life. Used Sentras are everywhere for $3,000 to $5,000, which explains why budget buyers love them. A Florida retiree documented his 2007 Sentra crossing 240,000 miles through daily errands and highway trips. The paint faded, but the engine never faltered. Economy cars usually sacrifice durability for price. But what if that same philosophy built an SUV? Number 8. Honda CR-V. Picture a compact SUV crossing 300,000 miles without leaving its owner stranded once. That's the Honda CR-V reality. These crossovers combine car-like reliability with SUV practicality, and the mileage numbers prove it works. A Colorado outdoors enthusiast pushed her 2003 CR-V past 285,000 miles through mountain trails and daily commuting. The all-wheel drive system never failed, the engine never overheated, and the transmission shifted smoothly until the end. Honda's K-Series engines are practically bulletproof in CR-V applications. And with prices around $4,500 to $7,000 for early models, it's one of the cheapest reliable SUVs you can buy. Maintenance costs stay reasonable, while resale values remain strong throughout the vehicle's life. SUVs usually trade reliability for capability. Toyota built something even tougher. Number 7. Toyota RAV4. In the deserts of Arizona, where heat kills cars ruthlessly, the Toyota RAV4 just keeps going. A Tucson park ranger documented her 2006 RAV4 crossing 320,000 miles through desert trails and urban streets. The four-cylinder engine never overheated, the AWD system never failed, and the air conditioning worked perfectly through 115-degree summers. Toyota built the RAV4 to be the Corolla of SUVs, reliable, efficient, and nearly indestructible. Even high-mileage RAV4s often sell for just $5,000 to $7,000, making desert-proof engineering affordable. These compact crossovers routinely hit 250,000 miles with minimal major repairs. Parts are affordable, service is straightforward, and the resale value stays strong. Desert survival demands specialized engineering, but what if that specialization meant staying elegantly simple? Number 6. Mazda Protege. Driving instructors across America discovered the Mazda Protege secret. This economy car was virtually indestructible. A Seattle driving school used their Protege fleet for an average of 180,000 miles per car. Through constant student abuse. Clutch drops, curb scrapes, parking mishaps, and general inexperience couldn't kill these compact sedans. The 1.6-liter four-cylinder was smooth and reliable, while the manual transmission added years to the lifespan. The kicker? Used Proteges often go for under $3,000, one of the cheapest reliable cars on the road. A Texas insurance adjuster drove his 2002 Protege past 260,000 miles investigating claims across rural highways. Student drivers usually destroy cars quickly. What happens when decades of neglect meet basic engineering? Number 5. Ford Escort. This disposable economy car refused to be disposed of. The Ford Escort earned its reputation through sheer persistence. Not sophistication, not comfort, just an engine that wouldn't quit. A Wisconsin postal worker pushed her 1997 Escort wagon past 280,000 miles, delivering mail through brutal Midwest winters. The CVH four-cylinder wasn't smooth, but it was immortal. These cars survived through simplicity, basic fuel injection, standard manual transmission, and minimal electronic complications. Maintenance was cheap because everything was accessible. Even now, Escorts can be found for $2,000 to $3,500. Proving cheap can still mean immortal. Parts were affordable because Ford made millions of them. A Detroit pizza delivery driver used his Escort for 240,000 miles before the body finally surrendered to rust. Disposable cars weren't supposed to last decades. What happens when that philosophy meets performance engineering? Number 4. Chevrolet Cavalier. General Motors never intended the Cavalier to become a legend, but longevity has its own logic. These economy sedans survived through basic engineering and overbuilt simplicity. The 2.2-liter four-cylinder was crude but bulletproof. A Tennessee factory worker drove his 1995 Cavalier for 310,000 miles through daily industrial commuting. The interior fell apart, the paint faded, and the exhaust got loud, but the engine never missed a day. You can still snag a Cavalier for about $2,500 to $4,000, cementing its spot as a cheap legend. Manual transmission Cavaliers were particularly durable. Parts stayed cheap, service remained simple, and fuel economy held steady throughout the car's life. GM built these cars to be forgotten. Forgettable cars rarely achieve immortality. What happens when Honda engineers chase that same goal? Number 3. Acura Integra. A California mechanic still drives his 1994 Integra to work every day, with 340,000 miles on the odometer. This Honda-engineered coupe proved something important. Performance and reliability aren't mutually exclusive. The B-Series four-cylinder was VTEC perfection, smooth, powerful, and virtually indestructible. These cars absorbed decades of enthusiast ownership without major failures. Manual transmissions were bulletproof, while the suspension handled modifications beautifully. Despite tuner fame, you can still find old Integras for $5,000 to $7,000, making them cheap icons. A Texas tuner shop owner used his Integra for 280,000 miles of daily driving and weekend track events. The clutch needed replacement twice, but the engine never required internal work. Performance cars usually demand sacrifice. Could hybrid technology rewrite those rules entirely? Number 2. Toyota Prius. Taxi drivers in San Francisco proved hybrid durability in the harshest possible environment, city stop-and-go traffic. One cab driver documented his 2008 Prius crossing 450,000 miles before the hybrid battery finally needed replacement, then kept driving. The Atkinson Cycle four-cylinder is over-engineered for efficiency and longevity. These hybrids routinely hit 300,000 miles with minimal major repairs. On the used market, early Priuses often list for $4,500 to $6,500, making hybrid reliability surprisingly cheap. The electric motors actually reduce engine wear by sharing the load. A Phoenix delivery driver used his Prius for 380,000 miles of desert commuting, through summers that kill most cars. Hybrid technology usually means complexity and failure points. What happens when that technology serves immortality itself? Number 1. Toyota Camry. That Florida woman wasn't unique, she was typical. The Toyota Camry represents automotive immortality disguised as a boring family sedan. Mechanics call it the million-mile car because so many have actually achieved it. A California taxi driver documented his 1999 Camry crossing 600,000 miles before retiring, not because it failed, but because he did. The 2.2-liter four-cylinder is legendary for longevity. These sedans absorb decades of neglect while delivering reliable transportation. Parts are cheap, service is universal, and the engineering is proven across millions of vehicles. And with used Camrys widely available for $5,000 to $8,000, immortality has never been so affordable. One Alaska bush pilot used his Camry for 480,000 miles of remote highway driving, through conditions that destroy most vehicles. Which of these cheap legends would you trust for 200,000 miles? Drop your pick below and subscribe for more hidden gems.